So today I'm talking to Samantha Feilding, the Head of Admissions at Eaton House Schools in London. We're going to talk about the admissions process and what these well-known schools in Belgravia and Clapham are really looking for. So welcome, Sam. Thank you so much for joining us. I wonder if you could, not at all, well, thank you. I wonder if you could give us just a brief introduction to the schools, the Eaton House schools.
Yes, well, we have two campuses. Eaton House Belgravia is in central London and is one of London's oldest pre-prep schools. We are celebrating 120 years of excellence, so we're very proud of our heritage. But we also have a newer school, Eaton House the Manor in Clapham in South London, which was founded in 1993, so is a newer addition, but has also embraced our lovely traditions as well as moving with the times.
Perfect. Okay, so I know that ages 3 and 4 you're non-selective. So I wonder if you could maybe just explain to us at this stage, what are you looking for in the boys and in the girls? I know you have a girls' school as well. And how does your entry criteria work?
Well, as you see, we are non-selective for entry into our nursery, but also at 4+ into reception, and we're very proud of that. We want to make admission straightforward for parents. We want parents to choose us. They will know their children at that age much better than we could possibly hope to gain insight into in a half-hour assessment. So we like parents to choose us, and we really are hoping for children who are curious and interested. So we really will welcome all children and then take them where they can go. And although we are non-selective, we are academically very ambitious for all our children, and we achieve what we consider great results, not just in academics, but also our leavers gain scholarships in art and music, sport and drama. And we're very proud that we achieve that from a non-selective start point.
Okay, so do you meet families in advance? Because when you say are non-selective, the children, they're not made to come in and play or solve puzzles.
What we like to do is meet our families at our regular open houses, which sadly we cannot hold at the moment due to all the COVID-19 restrictions. But we like parents to visit us. It's very important as a parent to visit a school, to like what you see and to like how you feel around the children, around the buildings even, and around the staff. So we are always inviting parents to come and meet us and to hear what we can offer and then to go away and make their decision.
All right, and does it vary at all by school, or is it same across all the schools?
Same across both schools. Boys and girls we have at in both single-sex schools, but on the same campus in Clapham, and we have boys at Belgravia. We do have co-ed nurseries at both sites.
Okay. And in terms of international admissions, because obviously we deal with a lot of families coming into London from all over the world, do you treat international admissions any differently? Is there anything in particular?
No differently at all. If they happen to be relocating at a time when their children would join our nursery or reception entry, we will offer places in exactly the same non-selective way. And for any child joining us, either locally or internationally, at an older age point, for year 1 and above, we hold assessments for those entry points. And that's mainly because we want to check to see if there are any gaps in children's knowledge, and that can happen. Quite often just a sort of chronological teaching issue. Sometimes relocating from different educational systems around the world, children have covered different things at different times. So we like to see if there are any gaps in there, and depending on the stage at which children might join, those gaps may or may not be more crucial. But we also want to make sure that we are the right fit for that child, just as much as the child being the right fit for us and our existing cohort.
So in normal times, obviously not at the moment, would these children, say if you had a 7, 8-year-old, would you expect them to come and sort of spend a day with you in school or half a day?
We usually require children to visit us, usually to spend a morning, occasionally a full day for the slightly older children. And they would spend time in a class with their peers, and they would probably meet the head teacher for a short interview. And sit assessment papers in maths and English, which is when we assess whether there are any of those gaps in knowledge.
Okay, and are you able to support children with sort of learning support, mild learning support needs?
Yes, we have a really super learning enrichment team, we call them, all in-house, and that support is included in our fees. We do consider our requirements for learning support as a whole year group, as a school, when taking children perhaps an assessment. We only have so many learning support staff, so if we are sort of at capacity, that may hinder our ability. But no, we would always look to support children. And it may be that some children need a little support for a period of time while they grasp a particular concept, and then move on without looking back. And it may be some children need learning support for a slightly extended period.
And in terms of the current situation, obviously the much overused word unprecedented, but tricky for all. What are you having to do? What are you sort of doing at the moment with admissions inquiries?
Well, we are all learning new tricks. We're all spending a lot of time on Zoom and just trying to adapt. The main thing I would say is that we are trying to be incredibly flexible for parents. Parents have so much going on at the moment. Many are supporting remote learning at home with young children, which is extremely time consuming. So we are trying to extend deadlines. We are now offering remote assessments. So we will email assessment papers to pupils at home for them to complete there. We're arranging Zoom interviews with our heads for the children, and we are trying to be also very flexible about acceptance deadlines. So we're giving parents a little longer than we would usually do, and looking at everybody very much on a case-by-case basis. So I think we're carrying on as normal, but just being extremely flexible in all things at the moment.
Mm. How do you see for this September? I know it's impossible to say, and we hope obviously that the schools, all schools, are going to be open fully. I mean, has it had effect on your admissions? Obviously, I would imagine you have families not quite sure if they're going to be here or not. Has it affected you in that way?
The most helpful thing for us always is to be in discussion with families, and we're very grateful to those who've contacted us. We have found our numbers are perhaps no more fluid than usual, but there have been some changes. Some children perhaps not joining us after all, some deferring if they are currently abroad. But by and large, we have also found that perhaps families might have moved out of London or relocated around the world at this time of year, and that hasn't happened this year because everybody is tending to stay put a little bit more. So we are having lots of conversations with parents, and they're keeping us up to date with their plans as they develop. And again, we're trying to be accommodating and flexible in all cases.
Mm. I mean, we're certainly seeing, you know, a surprising amount of families wanting to come to London, a lot for this September at the very last minute, which is fantastic. But I wonder whether is it a concern possibly to you that the traditional British family, there's a lot in the press at the moment about young families wanting to move out of London to be in the safety of the countryside. Do you think that's going to be a possible factor for you?
Well, yes, it may well be, and we hear regularly. I had an email this morning from a family who'd moved to their second home in the country and decided that they're going to stay there. It's a big decision, and this situation has prompted us all to take a long, hard look. So I fully expect, I think any major event is going to cause some quite sort of significant shifts. So it would be quite understandable if a number of families had decided to move on the back of that. But equally, I think we will get additional registrants for September because perhaps people have delayed making decisions about whether they are moving to London or going to stay here. So we have always had quite an international element to the schools, particularly in Belgravia, central London being quite an international place. but also in the manor as well. We have a large number of Europeans at that particular school, but also Chinese families and some Russian families in Belgravia. And both schools really represent their local areas quite well, in as much as there is an international component. You know, London is now an international city.
Yeah, no, well, it certainly is. Okay, well, it's all very interesting to hear. Is there anything else that you think is sort of new or different or possibly going to be changing sort of going forward after this?
Well, we will see, and isn't that it would be wonderful. Foresight is a wonderful thing, and it's always interesting to try and imagine how things will change. We have currently welcomed some young groups back to school, and we hope to welcome the entire school back, if not by the end of term, in September. But I think what this has highlighted is just how valuable our super staff are. They have adapted incredibly rapidly and incredibly effectively to this situation. And over the Easter holidays, we suddenly created a remote learning platform, and the staff were able to deliver a full timetable of our curriculum over Zoom and Seesaw. So although we may not know what will happen, I'm quite confident that whatever it is, we will rise to the challenge.
Yeah, well, I think I'm in awe of all the schools. I think they're doing an amazing job, I must say. You know, talking to parents, they're so impressed with the support that they're getting. All right, well, thank you so much. Thank you for just running us through how it works. And it's always useful to hear from an expert. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Sam. I mean, it wasn't really very long, but I think that, you know,
I think we recorded some video clips for our sort of virtual admissions page, and we've done a few presentations. I think short and sweet, Diana, is really the answer.
Yeah, well, I do too.
Tune in and you get the vibe, and you either like what you're hearing or, you know, but I think particularly if people are accessing lots of different elements, you know, they really are only going to spend so long on each one.
Exactly, because
you know, I'm pretty sure, hopefully, all schools are saying much the same thing. You know, talking to colleagues in other schools. You know, we're all trying to accommodate and be flexible. You know, we'd all like to have lovely full schools, and you know, and we want to help where we can.
Yeah.